Hello everyone, my name is Prashant and I welcome you on the channel Reliability OTC. So today we are going to talk about a framework which is known as AssetOpsBench. This particular framework has been developed by IBM Research, and this focuses on a gap which we have on GenAI solutions today. So this particular framework basically provides us the ability to evaluate that if we have industrial asset management data, or if we have and we want to create industrial asset management related agents, then this particular framework is going to provide us the different prompts. We can use these prompts against different LLMs, and we can find out which LLM is best. As we know, on a daily basis we are having changes happening in Gen AI. We have new LLMs coming very frequently now. So how do we know and decide that which is the LLM which is best for us for this particular use case? This particular framework has been developed. Now, this particular framework has also provided us a data set. So if you go on Hugging Face and if you search AssetOpsBench, you will be able to see that this is a particular data set that has been provided. And these are the different scenarios which are human authored evaluation prompts, which you can basically use. If you are going to use this particular prompt, you will be able to get the output, you will be able to evaluate the output. So other than that, so if you go to GitHub, you will be able to see that they have actually provided a GitHub repo as well. And as they have mentioned that in the GitHub repo, you will be able to see that they have basically provided 4 different kind of domains specific agents, and then they have provided 2 framework, multi-agent framework. So what exactly they are using is that in AssetOpsBench, in order to evaluate the industrial AI agents, they are using 2 different framework. So if we go, this is a particular multi-agent system which they have used. So if we are going to ask a question from an AI agent that if you want to find out any anomaly in a particular chiller, in this particular case, what exactly AssetOps agent is going to do? That it has certain inputs. It has asset data, master and sensor data, and it has work order, failure modes, and different kind of documentation, user manuals as inputs available. Right? This particular multi-agent system is actually going to have 2 different modes. So one mode is agent as a tool, and the second mode is plan and execute. So there are 4 different agents which are there. So if there is one IoT agent, uh, then they have a work order agent, then there is a TSFM, basically a time series foundation model, and then the finally is the another is failure mode sensor. These are the 4 agents, and the output expected is that we will be able to get the what are the SR and work order which has to be generated, any requirement related to it, and then the question which we are asking about the data, an anomaly or any other kind of question which we are asking. So in this particular case, there are, as I mentioned, there are 2 kind of implementation strategy, and one is agent as a tool. In this particular case, all these 4 agents which we have just now talked about has been set up as a tool, and then when you are going to ask a question, LLM is going to decide which particular question, which particular agent it has to use, and then it will be basically using these agents, and then finally you will be getting the output. The other model is plan and execute. In this particular case, when you ask a question, first the agents are going to basically put together a multi-step process where they are going to do first as a step 1, then step 2, step 3, and step 4, and finally they will be executing it, and then they will be giving you an output. So this is another approach which they have used. So if you come here, you will be able to see that as when they have done this for different kind of when they have used these questions and they have done this exercise with multi-agent system, they have put together a leaderboard, and these are for different LLMs which are available in the market. And as per the leaderboard, you can see that how the this is a graph which talks about how much is the percentage completed. They have 2 different kind of approaches here. As agent as a tool, if we go with agent as a tool, as per the exercise, ChatGPT performed best, and when they go for plant and execute, they found that Meta model has performed best, right? So this is the particular framework that has been derived, and it is, as I mentioned, is it is going to basically fill the gap where today we do not know for industrial AI agent what is the LLM which is best for us to use, right? Because there is no framework to do it. Now this framework has certain set of questions. This provides you different agents. This also give you a way to develop other approaches, other framework, and then you can basically evaluate with that. So if we go for this particular setup, I just wanted to quickly show you what is the how this particular framework look like. So the instructions are actually available into Git repository. You will be actually able to see that. I am going to tag all the URLs below in the description of the video, so you will be able to find it. So here, if you see that what exactly they have done, as I mentioned, that they have provided two different framework for multi agents. One is agent as a tool, and the other one that they have provided is plan and execute. And there are basically two tracks which are available. So first is basic, and the second one is advanced. And if you are going to run this particular there is a Docker container which you require, and after you are going to run this particular repo, you are actually going to get, so if you see that you are going to get track 1 result and track 2 results. So if I show you here track 1 result, you will see that a question which was available in the, which you can also see here. If I go back and if I show you this is the first question, what IoT sites are available, and it is asking this particular question. So if we are running this particular repo and asking the first question, it is actually going to, you can see that you have asked a question, it has gone for the trajectory, where it has gone for the task number, and then you can see which agent it has chosen. So it has chosen an agent of IoT data download. Then you will be able to see how agent is, what is the system prompt, and how the agent is thinking. You will be able to see the log. This is the data which is also available as part of the data set, and you will be able to see that how this particular agent is responding. And finally, what is the answer? There is a particular answer which has been provided. So you can see how agent is thinking and what is reasoning is happening. Similarly, if you have another problem 106 where it is saying list all the failure mode of chiller 6, in this particular case you can see that there is another agent, failure mode and sensor relativity agent it has called, and it has basically fetched the data. So you can go through and see how the trajectory has gone and what kind of thoughts it has generated and how it has fetched this particular data. Now if I show you the advanced track, which is the, in this case of an advanced track COD track 2, so you can see here that now this particular track is using plan and execute approach. So you can see here when we are running it, there are multiple thoughts and multiple questions are there, right? So here you can see that what exactly it is doing is that it is actually having thoughts, and then it is dividing the particular thing into an action. And for this particular action, there are different steps which has been put together. It is going through that, and it is basically providing us the answer. So here, if you let me show you. So here, for example, as I mentioned, that the plan and execute agents are the one where they are going to first put together a mental map kind of a thing, where they will say this is the first action, then there is a second action, and there is a third action I'm going to do. You can see similar thing is happening here. You can see first action 1, you have asked a question, and for this there is a, for this particular question it is determining. So there is a question, it is having a thought that what it has to do to determine, and then it says that okay, for this particular thing I have to first find the gather modes, and it is writing that in output. Then you will see it is doing other processing, and finally it is basically giving a response, and inside it there are multiple tasks it is doing first task number 1, task number 2, and so on and so forth. So what exactly is happening is that there are different agents, they are being called in a particular manner, and then there are internal tasks which agents are firing, right? So this is another way how we can have multi-agent system design which can work for industrial AI and asset management, right? So this exactly is the AssetOps bench. You can see here, you can find the more detail about what is the agent which is used for what kind of purpose and what kind of question it is going to answer. And then this is also the leaderboard. I believe this is the This is the updated leaderboard where you can see that different colors are actually showing. This is actually showing how many tasks are completed. The other slide was only showing the task completed. Here it is showing the task completion. It is also showing on the data retrieval. It is also showing on the basis of action, clarity and justification, and how much hallucination happened. So on the basis of this data, which is actually going to, this particular framework is going to provide, tomorrow you have one more new model available. You can run this framework for this particular model. So you can run all these questions on this given in this particular uh, repo or the framework, and then you will be able to find out the similar kind of statistics. So this fills up the gap where you can actually not talk in theory, but you can actually have some kind of questions readily available. These are the very common questions. You have some data available. You can actually give these questions to any LLM, and you have different parameters on top of which you can judge any LLM, and you can find out which is the one which is best for you, which fits your need and which performs best for you. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this video and you got an idea about the AssetOpsBench. You can follow this repo. There is more work happening, and you can obviously go ahead and read this particular paper. And in last, I want to thank you, Dr. Dhaval Patel, who actually pinged me and provided the details about this particular framework, and it has been a very good learning to understand what exactly is happening and how this particular problem is being solved.